Russia is the largest country in the world. It takes up 11.5% of the total surface of the Earth. During the age of absolutism in Europe, Russia was even larger than it is today. For a period of 300 years, from 1613 to 1917, Russia was ruled by the Romanov dynasty. The Romanov family produced two of the best-known rulers in Russian history, Tsar Peter the Great and Tsarina Catherine the Great. Tsar is the Russian word for king. It comes from the word Caesar, like Julius Caesar from Rome. In the late 1600s, Peter I, known as Peter the Great, began an intense program of trying to modernize Russia. He was an impressive monarch, standing nearly 7 feet tall. Peter admired the nations of Western Europe and wanted to make Russia more updated like other European countries. He went on an 18-month tour of England and the Netherlands to study Western industry and academic subjects. On this trip, he learned shipbuilding and navigation, a clear attempt to jumpstart the development of a naval program in Russia. Peter returned to Russia determined to use his power to make his country more advanced. His first steps were to increase his power so that he could force people to make the changes he wanted. He put the Russian Orthodox Church under his own control. He cut the power of nobles. He built up the army and made it better trained. Peter is remembered for making Russia more modern, or Western, in several ways. Peter brought potatoes to Russia as a new profitable crop. He began Russia's first newspaper, and he gave more social status to women. He promoted education and built a grand new capital city on the shores of the Baltic Sea, named St. Petersburg, after himself. Peter also investigated the sciences, including surgery and dentistry. Sometimes Peter forced people to make the changes he wanted. For example, he forced Russians to adopt Western style and clothing, even going so far as to force nobles to shave their traditional beards or face a legal penalty. While governing Russia, Peter placed more power in the central government instead of local governments. Although he took away most of the nobles' political power, he tried his best to keep them from rebelling. In order to make the nobles happy, Peter gave them full control over the serfs, poor peasant farmers. He also changed the tax formula in Russia so that nobles paid no taxes and the largest tax burden fell on those who were already poor, the serfs. Peter the Great died in 1725 and was followed by a series of weak monarchs. Russia fell into a lull until 1762, when Catherine II, also known as Catherine the Great, assumed the throne. She ruled until 1796. Catherine was born a German princess and quickly acclimated herself to the Russians' way of life. Because of her German roots, Catherine relied heavily on European philosophy and schools of thought. She thought of herself as an intelligent individual, and even considered freeing the serfs from the rigid social system of enslavement. However, Catherine the Great's opinion of the serfs changed rapidly following a violent peasant rebellion that nearly cost her the throne. She radically shifted her views and allowed the nobles to treat the serfs as they wished. This was a political move that earned her the support of the nobles and the scorn of the peasants. Under Catherine, more peasants were forced into serfdom, that's that slavery-like state, than ever before. Revolutions occurred, and Catherine brutally crushed these peasant uprisings. Catherine significantly expanded Russia's borders. She engaged in expensive but successful battles against several foreign powers. Catherine was the last of the great absolute monarchs, and she exhibited powerful skills in foreign relations.